Hey people, into tier 3v3, Sicaris Plateau, blue team. Couple of Farseers. First up is Pope Vader, and this is Mostafa007 with the Exodites elite scheme. These guys are melee heroes that support with strong buffs and some control abilities. Alongside, DarkElllf is an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get ranged weapons, the Mordian Iron Guard here. Red team, some Space Marines. First up is Django with a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Got some Blood Angels here. Also Jamona with an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal, a passive health, regeneration aura. And rounding off the teams is good old Floid with a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Some of you out there, some of my viewers that have been watching for maybe a year or so and don't play the game may have never seen this map. Sicaris Plateau very rarely gets played on in Elite mod. Have some fond memories of playing on it back in retail days though. We have these garrisons overlooking the natural powers, which some players hate. Contested VP in the southwest corner, natural VPs in the east and north, and those natural VPs are very far away from the contested VP. So it can be difficult to support that bottom player in late game if it's a 1v1 down here. Farseer is going to die to Orks. Smack. Took an unfortunate retreat path there, but they should have moved down a bit more to ensure it would go the other way. We got flamers up on some guardsmen already for DarkElllf. The shooter boys are going to have to run, and maybe going to get a revive there on the Farseer. Meanwhile, Jamona pushing the southwest. Banshees running away, Guardians running away, and in the mid, this is Pope Vader's Farseer with double Guardians and nothing else apparently. Straight into Rangers maybe. Tactical Marines of Django must flee. Techmarine already at base. Scouts can do some good work on this map. Got some room to maneuver around the edges. Going for a decap on Blue's natural victory point. Farseer is ignoring them for now, fleeting towards the northeast. Meanwhile, towards the south natural power of the red team, we got some fire. I assume, yep, the Farseer got revived. Did that level the Inquisitor? Not quite. It's so much less XP for reviving now. Here is Mostafa's Farseer. Big heal on those sluggers from the Apothecary. This is level 1 heal. Basically fully healed those guys up there. They did lose a model though still. Warboss, yeah, needs to go to the other squad. No point tying up the same squad of guardsmen, fellas. They have spread out a bit. Farseer gets a good special and then runs. Some bolter and shotguns force off the Inquisitor. Now, can the red team push after this, or are they going to be too beleaguered? Got some shooter boys joining the fight. In fact, 2 of them with big shooters. No bleeder on the way here too. No bleeder for those fellas, but they have forced off the blue team. Mostly, here comes a heavy weapon squad. Can they get onto this power? It's fully genned up. Shuriken on the field now for Mostafa. In fact, 2 of them. So maybe not. It's going to be tough to get onto the power, I think. The Eldar in the northeast with a guarded weapon team for Pope Vader. Rangers on the way. Warboss trying to do what they can. A little bit isolated here. Here comes the Apothecary to lend a hand. The Shuriken, though, takes the garrison. What can they do about that? It's a flamer. That's what they're going to do about it. Those guys are going to have a bad time in a second. Sentinel pushing up all alone, which is odd. Knew those guys were suppressed maybe. Warboss in retreat. Here's the flamer. Flamer type weapon. Super effective against garrison units and units in cover. But here are the Howling Banshees to put the pressure on. Aspect of strength on the way. Howling Banshees have power melee weapons. Really bad news for heavy infantry. The Silk Marines though jumping in. If they get the jump on Banshees, especially if they have Apothecary support, they usually do quite well. The jump knocking them down, meaning some free hits going in. Apothecary heals himself. See that health regen aura helping everything out, and the Tactical Marine did stay in play there. Shurikens and heavy weapon squad. So lots of suppression teams to deal with. He got a little power bash, but a note down. Yeah, I'm not sure what they can do about this in the short term. Maybe some sneaky scouts with grenade. But even then, that's only getting rid of one of those guarded weapon teams. The garrison there makes it tough sometimes. 446 to 414. Blue team sweeping across the map. Very aggressive start from these Eldar players. Double heavy weapon squads for DarkElllf. That's a lot. Lots of suppression stuff. Storm Boys are up for Floid. We might see the anchor bits as well. Indeed we do. Perhaps a Purification Vials. Nope, we see Purification Rites. Also the customized Storm Bolter to help shut down the enemy heroes. Just saw a big heal there from Mostafa with these Spirit Stones. What's that? That's Hammer of the Witches on the Warboss's face. Running into a heavy weapon squad as well. There's Now I'm Angry, trying to get out of the firing arc. Couldn't quite manage it, was suppressed. Now I'm Angry, giving him that speed burst with health regen. And the damage increase is pretty damn good. Especially very early on, where disruption can make a massive difference in the fights. There's not a lot of it around. Assault squad taking some damage. Jamona just gone around, just avoiding this garrison for now. Nope, going in with a flamer. Not sure that was a good idea. It's a single tactical marine. Looks like they are going to get away. Apothecary himself is very low. They do have shotguns there though on those scouts, and grenades as well. I think they just chucked a grenade in. Didn't quite see it, but I heard an explosion. Storm Boys be running. Those guys have power melee weapon. It's not especially useful against early game Eldar and Imperial Guard, but will help chop down enemy heroes a bit faster early on. Banshee's in trouble here. That was a Purification Rites heal. Knocked back that Farseer. Did knock back the Banshees because they were retreating. We have Ard Boys up on those sluggers. Oh, did they get the Banshees there? I believe they did get the Banshees on retreat. Been messed up by retreat paths a couple of times. Mostafa needs to manage the units a little bit better to ensure the correct retreat path. Tier 2 for Django. Tier 2 for Vader and Mostafa. DarkElllf already there. Level 2 Apothecary. And they're on the power still. Set up teams with these suppression weapons do quite low amounts of damage to generators and stuff. Even at that close range, all those shots going in. Gonna take a while to bash that power. Grenade. Decent hit. Rangers here are kind of support snipers. Oh, those guys shouldn't have retreated. A sticky retreat there from Pope Vader. Tactical Marines do not have a flamer. There are natural powers in the mid, as you can see, for both teams. Attacks staying in play. Need to be careful. Getting quite low, maybe get into melee over here, hey? I guess I don't want to draw the fight off the shuriken. Meanwhile, southwest, we have a bunker up. More garrisons. Warboss is pissed. Has caught the heavy weapon squad not set up. Look at that, they populated that central power there. There's the tier 2 for Floid. Jamona still in tier 1, just popped tier 2 actually. Stormtroopers up for DarkElllf. Mostafa down to just 2 units on the field. Smack takes out the heavy weapon squad. Red team turning the corner. Early tier 2 here. Burned that house from the sluggers. Seriously burning the crap out of stuff. Storm Boys in play now. They can just duck inside of the garrison though. The bunker, sorry. And it is a medical bunker here. We're seeing some health regen aura on these guards when they can reinforce off it. 360 to 388. There's another charge into the Stormtroopers, getting their anti-armor kit here. We'll give them a melter bomb and melter guns. Tier 3 for Mostafa. Was expecting some Wraith Guard, but... And then they could counter-initiate the jump troops with a Gravity Blade or something, but nope, straight into tier 3. Blue team are holding the line. Reinforcing 2 at a time, these guardsmen with 9 models. 346 to 388. What's going on northeast? Some retreats here from the Space Marines. Those guys have bash power, I suppose. Maybe should bash this power, fellas. Sluggers grab that central power stolen there. Django has a Dreadnought making its way to the natural VP of the red team. And it's double Wraith Guard for Pope Vader. So Django might want to get some Assault Marines of their own. What's that? Stick Bombers could do some work against this blobbed up light infantry here. Sluggers doing some good work. They've got their Knob Leader up and their Burners doing some good fiery stuff. Getting rid of the Farseer there too. Storm Boys have their run of bleeder. He's got heavy melee damage, that guy, and allows him to stun on landing, as you saw there. 323 to 388. Can't quite break through the red team. That was a bomber buy from their improved rocket packs. Also gives them extra jump range, which is nice. What is this? That Stormtrooper's being called in, I think, from DarkElllf. It is. They've taken some heavy losses. Oh, here's the Dreadnought from Django. Comes down to the southwest with an assault cannon. Says hello. I don't think this fella's going to get away. Surprised to see them with anti-armor kit, actually. They did bash the power, or help bash the power, but blue team took heavy losses there. Really heavy losses. Why are you shooting the bunker to steal it? There you go. They've stolen the bunker. And now you see Jamona here going straight to enemy power. Is this a Spanish team? This might be a fully Spanish team, the red team. I know Floid and Jamona are Spanish, I believe. Or at least Jamona's Spanish speaking. Django maybe is as well, judging by their name. Here's some Seer Council from Mostafa. A squad of Warlocks with power melee damage, jumping all over the place, and a nice range damage reduction aura. That's that blue that you see on the Farseer and the Seer Council themselves. They also benefit from it. Apothecary must flee. Tactical Marines in the garrison. Sergeant just standing in that top galley there. 323 to 341. Plasma there was burning up. Was that a Hell Fury over there? Maybe it was. Assault squad tying things up. Seer Council going after him. And they do not want to fight a Seer Council. We just saw the Hammer of the Witches on one of the Assault Marines. Probably the Sergeant if they could pick them out. Some stun bombs came in. Actually stunned some of the Seer Council here. Stick bombers are actually pretty good in melee. But not good enough to fight some Seer Council, that's for sure. But messed up. Is that a Dreadnought? It is the Dreadnought. Wraith Guard do lots of damage to all targets with their big Wraith Cannons. And there's a Bright Lance there too. It's under massive threat. Can it get away? But a long way to go. Push it up really far here. DarkElllf goes tier 3 also. Pope Vader is almost there themselves. Needs to keep moving. Just leveled up to 2. We have a Fire Prism now for Mostafa. Seem to actually go tier 3 in good time and quite smoothly. Straight out with the Seer Council into a Fire Prism. It was probably a Seer Council from the Global Bar. Down goes the Inquisitor. Farseer can get Seer Council from their Global Bar. Spending red instead of power, which leaves power for things like Fire Prisms. 2 to 1 for the blue team. I thought maybe red team were going to run over them at the start of tier 2 after their heavy losses, but no. Mostafa comes out swinging with some tier 3 units. And look at this fully kitted out Farseer for Mostafa. There's the levitation field, although she was in the middle of a special attack, so we don't get the cool levitating Farseer animation there. Also has rune armor for the Psychic Storm and more energy and health and stuff, and Spirit Stone, so that big heal that we saw earlier. War Truck for Floid acts as a reinforcement point for allies, can also get units inside of it. Melter Bomb on the Fire Prism, should be fine. They are relatively fragile though for a fire support tank type vehicle. Only 500 hit points on those fellas. Plasma Cannon devs are getting out of the garrison, are they? Yes, they are. Can they settle a bit here, the red team now? They did defend the power there. And they've got that central power too. Only 2 gens on it now. And here we see Django. Oh, they lost the Dreadnought. I guess it didn't get away. Hey, there it is. Just got chased down by the Wraith Guard. What do you have? Just the Ghost Helm, eh? Armor of the Assyrian on the way. Farseer with a fancy special attack that misses. Those guys, for some reason, not taking the garrison there. Okay, I guess they're okay. Apothecary is right there, sneaking around. He's got the combat stims, or combat stimulant equipment, which nobody ever calls it. Webway down in the southwest for Mostafa. That's going to be a great help. Could get one in the... Oh, there's already one up here from Vader. Yep. Your allies can use your Webway. You have a melee Techmarine. Acts of the Mechanicum and Bionics help him tie up that Wraith Guard. Oh, grenade goes in. That was a pretty good grenade. This is a really bad fight for Django. Not sure what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to get the Tactical Marines and the Techmarine on both of the Wraith Guard in melee. But even then what? You still get wrecked by the Guardians and the Farseer herself, who now has a Singing Spear. Power Bash from Floid, using the War Truck. He's got the burners. Warboss just hanging out, level 3. A Leman Russ is on the field. Is this a good map for tanks? It's got some good space around here, and I do remember endgame typically turns into a 2v2 slugfest actually in the northeast of the map, where the natural VPs are, rather than after the contested VP in the bottom. Over the contested VP, I should say. Since those two natural VPs are so close to each other, players typically gravitate towards them in late game to try and get them both. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Django. Vanguard Veterans there for Jamona. Look at the Executioner Cannon ripping through those Orks. They got away okay. Stick Bombers, down to 2 models. Their stun bombs do stun vehicles. I remember when that change was implemented many years ago now in retail. Lots of players went absolutely crazy at the thought of stick bombers being able to stun vehicles. And it turned out to be mostly fine. Techmarine in amongst the Wraith Guard here. Kills one. Does some really good damage with the axe. It has been buffed several times over the years. It's 55 power melee DPS now. Draining 15 energy on hit, and he gets more melee skill and more health from just having the axe. Would be cool if he had special attack animations that used his bionic arm thing. He just uses it to fix stuff, and I guess the powerful sweep is meant to use it, but I don't think there's like an animation for it. Just as a special attack animation, I think, or sometimes no animation at all. Stuff just goes flying. It's a few little touches that Relic could have put in if they were given more time. They weren't given a lot of time to make this game initially, as far as I understand, compared to something like Company of Heroes. They were given very little time to make Dawn of War 2. 276 to 116, triple cap here for the blue team. Looking pretty strong. You have a battle wagon on the way for Floid. Scouts being sneaky and annoying. What am I hearing? Just hearing this, I think. Scouts somehow get the VP. Rangers didn't kinetic pulse them there. They can just grab it back, I suppose. Storm Boys level 3, they've done well. Here's your battle wagon. Rumbles around, runs stuff over and shoots it up. Put a unit inside and you get extra functionality, more speed and more guns fire. Fire Prism takes out the War Truck. Usually you'll see one of the shooters maybe shoved into the battle wagon for the extra functionality. Whatever the Seer Council. The Seer Council are level 4 already. 3802 hit points. Pretty impressive. Going after Jamona's Terminators. Doing tons of damage, especially with this one floating in the air. Bad news for Terminators, since they can't retreat out of that stuff. Here's an avatar from Mostafa now. There's a Psychic Storm to suppress those Tactical Marines that are in fact Stone Guard Veterans there for Jamona. Can't suppress the Terminators though. Avatars on them, providing even more passive aura buffs. And he's very powerful in combat, as you might expect. We've got 3 Orc units inside this thing. One of the Terminators dies. Avatar, as you may expect, can damage all targets with that massive sword of his. Got a couple of swings on the battle wagon as a third. Took a big chunk of health off it. What's going on northeast? It's a Leman Russ versus a Land Raider Redeemer. Leman Russ doesn't have the Vanquisher Cannon, but the Executioner is still some good DPS at close range versus vehicles. That looked like... oh, that was Judgment. I was going to say, did the Inquisitor just use Hammer of the Witches on the Land Raider? But I think that was Judgment on the Land Raider. Or maybe units that were inside of it, perhaps. Land Raider's pretty low. Not sure what this tank is doing. Seems to be acting very strangely. Here comes anti-armor stormtroopers. They got the melter on it, but then they got kind of wrecked. Can the Leman Russ finish it off? Blue team looking pretty strong here. I think it can. Yep, Land Raider Redeemer is down. Yeah, pushed up quite far. Obviously trying to put pressure on the enemy VP, but I don't think Django had the numbers to do that, to be that ballsy. Push alongside Floid maybe. Got some seer council now for Pope Vader at level 1. Maybe you should have bashed his power, fellas. Oh, they stole the power. Huh. Don't need to bash it, it's stolen. In fact, the red... Oh, they still have this. Battle wagon jumping like a 50 foot into the air there. What was that all about? It's gonna go down. They got the Lehman Russ, but the battle wagon does fall. Orks pile out, ready to fight, ready to shoot. Oh boy, in a big pile for the Wraith Guard to just decimate there. Only a single Nob Leader got away from the shooters. Sluggers be running. What was that buff? Oh, that was Veil of Time, I think, from Django's now dead librarian. I don't even know where he was. Autark dropped in by Mostafa. 204 to 64. Baneblade on the way for DarkElllf. The Eldar look super strong in this game so far. Stone Guard veterans using their Vengeance rounds to damage the Fire Prism. And they'll get it. Why are they meleeing it for? What are you doing, fellas? Are they just trying to mess up the pathing for these guys to come in? Looks like they are going to get the Fire Prism, maybe? Shoot your guns. There we go. Down it goes. A strange play all around there. They expected Mostafa to try and leave, but maybe they were thinking, hey, they're just going to get rear armor hits and destroy me anyway. I might as well get some shots in. But then Jamona forced melee on the Fire Prism, which was amazing. It might have just been to try and mess up the pathing for the Terminators to come in. Just as I said, the Eldar are doing fantastically well. They dropped their Fire Prism in the southwest. Still doing okay though. Avatar trying to cleave through these Terminators down to a single model now. Getting their Vengeance rounds loaded in because the Avatar is super heavy infantry, and Vengeance rounds are good versus vehicles and super heavy infantry. Like 3 or 4 more hits and that's a dead Terminator model, I believe. Definitely. Blue team have gone to red team's natural power now here. With some Wraith Guard. The Wraith Guard have done well, haven't they? Level 2. 153 to 64 on the VPs. 2 to 1 for red. Django down to a single unit though. Stone Guard veterans they're down to. Floyd's got a Nob squad. Baneblade is out. Where is it going? Not really going anywhere at the moment. Nob squad getting suppressed like crazy by the Wraith Guard. Sluggers trying to make something happen in melee. Oh, they killed one of the Spirit Seer Warlocks that stunned one of the Wraith Guard and take the Wraith Guard out. Buffed up level 4 sluggers just tearing through the Eldar. They had Ard Boys and user choppers from the Warboss, and they went mental. All the attention on the Nobs. Look at these guys go. Can they finish off the Stormtroopers? They can. Give those guys some teeth. That's what Orks give to people, I think. Or to other Orks, I should say. Terminators on the field now for Django. Sluggers continue to rip and tear through stuff. Fancy special attack by the Farseer. And they might kill her. Smack, 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 smack. Maybe? I don't think they can get another hit on. And suddenly a Baneblade. Demolisher cannon shot going in there. Only the Nob Leader gets away. Would have been a crying shame if those guys wiped, but they get away. Jamona's got a level 5 Apothecary, very near level 6. Vanguard Veteran still level 1. Can they stabilize here? They've got a 2 to 1 cap, but the rest of the map is pretty blue. I mean, they still have both of their natural powers. That's alright. This one isn't loaded. In fact, neither is this one. What is this? Jamona looking for a power bash of their own, maybe? I'm not sure what they're up to. You'd think they should sit on the southwest VP and hang out and protect it. What is this? Sneaky scouts doing sneaky scout things. Baneblade now fighting some Terminators. Baneblades can be weak to heavy melee squads, and since Terminators have power fists, they are indeed a heavy melee squad. But they're not going to chase it. Red team looking very depleted, but they have a double tap now. I think they're going to get a triple. There it is. Blue team losing sight of what's important, namely the victory points. Okay, so this is Pope Vader now in the southwest to try and clean up these Space Marines. Vanguard veterans be running. That was the time field you just saw there. Oh, and the Farseer of Mostafa is also down here. They are getting a late game Falcon, actually. That was full auto there on the Farseer's face. Trying to get a decap is Pope Vader. Apothecary persuaded to back away. This could be bad for the Stern Guard. Triple cap steal for red, you know. What is this? It's all sorts of stuff. Lumen Russ in big trouble. Nob squad with user choppers. Hell Fury dropped in there. What was that? Was that the Demonistry Cannon? Not sure what these guardsmen are doing. Are they repairing? Are they repairing? Just strangely split up. Down goes Lumen Russ. Needed to keep that thing moving. Can they get the Bane Blade? I think they can. I mean, we've got a Nob squad right here. Oh, there's the game. Red team got it with a double cap. Are you serious? Really dropped the ball at the end there, the blue team, didn't they? Look how much resources Pope Vader had. Couldn't really get anything else because of the population. Might have been worth just chucking the Guardians away, get an Avatar up or something. But I can't believe they won that. Nob squad made a big difference pushing the top. I don't think they ever got this VP back after the scouts took it. And maybe did they just melee the Bright Lance to death as well? No, here it is. It ran away. A strangely abrupt and unexpected ending. The red team take it. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.